Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Super Mario Land 2 Glitchless Tournament. We have our first match in the second round of the losers bracket. Proa007 versus Chubaloo 020. This is going to be an exciting match, and I'm Master Kratos. You can't see me on the page, but I'm accompanied with Odir, who has been here for the last two matches. So this is going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, hello, I'm still here. I refuse to leave. Do we have game audio? I don't hear game audio.
I do not hear any game audio, just hear the...
Okay.
There, no, it's a bit loud though.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust it.
So sorry for the inconvenience, viewers. Hopefully we'll get it lowered in just a sec here. But we have entered Tree Zone. It looks like it's still a bit too loud though.
Yeah, I'm fixing. I'm fixing.
Sorry. No, it's
never done this before.
on-the-fly adjustments here with the volume, but we see here Chubaloo and Proa both flying through trees. One. It looks like Proa grabbed a fire flower, and Chubaloo is going to follow just Super Mario strats here. So that extra safety will allow Proa to get some quick kills on the frogs here, and so they're still pretty close here. Chubaloo finishing off Tree 1 very smoothly with that 4-4-4. Proa falling just behind, and we are now in Tree 2.
So prepare your ears. Yes, there we go.
It looks like we're good here. So Chubaloo is in the lead now, heading down the so-called shaft, as we like to say sometimes, and the carrot lurks below. So we need the bunny ears for the next couple levels to allow for some smooth travel. It's a little tricky getting through this section because there is this tree sap that just kind of floating in your way. That was a clean pipe by Chubaloo. Got slowed down just a little bit. Proa falling just behind. Gets a bonk, but we'll exit nice and safely.
Yeah, Chubaloo is one of those runners in the tournament who have improved a lot while the tournament has been running, and we kind of see that. Also, I like that pause there instead of falling down. Like, he noticed that he was off with his setup, briefly paused and just reset his mind and continued.
Good play by Chubaloo there. Proa finishing up. Tree left, and we are now in the tree top. This is where it can all change here. We'll see what strats that we see here. Chubaloo going for the fireball, and he goes for the risky strat and gets it. Nice job.
Yeah, I'm usually not expecting that in races, so whenever I see it and when I see it performed well, I'm really happy because I'm actually not even going for that in the races.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go for the risky strat because there's always a chance that you'll lose a life, and if you take the upper route in tree top, you won't be able to hit that bell, so you'll be starting over from the beginning.
Yeah, on Proa's side we see the alternative to the fire flower kill. You can keep the bunny ears, which makes the level itself way safer, but you exchange it for some time loss on the bird.
Proa collecting coin number 1 as Chubaloo gets in the bubble and soars across the sky. The Hippo stage is a great time for you to just kind of unwind and allow yourself to think of what's to come. The Space Zone is definitely an interesting part of the game. There's a lot going on in the 2 levels that you will encounter there in Glitchless. And
yeah, as mentioned in the match earlier, I'm a proponent of relaxing in this level as well, but we just learned that some people tense up in the bubble level. You never know.
That is definitely possible to miss the bubble too.
Maybe we just witnessed Chubaloo's like most terrifying level to play, and we can't even know.
Proa coming up just behind here.
Yeah, like we haven't seen any deaths, which is always what you want to see. Like you don't want to see that big separation right out of the gates. We want exciting races, and this is still like a single mistake from Chubaloo, like a long Tatanga stun, taking damage twice on Tatanga, while Proa does not do those things, can even up this race.
Yeah, there's plenty of places you can make mistakes, and a death will separate any runner dramatically in this game. They're very costly. Chubaloo finishing very nicely, Space 1. That was pretty much a perfect Space 1. He got the frame jump. Very clean exit.
Speaking of frame jumps, Proa goes for those spike pillar jumps with slowing down, but doesn't take damage. Interesting approach. I like the early damage in order to avoid some lag, I assume.
Now, normally when we enter into the star maze, you'll see players going in small to take advantage of the of just taking damage to reduce the lag at the end, if possible. And this is the level that most runners anticipate coming into this category, because it's a long auto scroller with considerably the best song in the game, depending on who you ask, and the Tatanga fight at the end is always looming, so you never know what's going to happen in there, especially in a race, because Tatanga can go terribly wrong.
Yeah, I've heard that the number of proponents of certain Pumpkin Zone songs is rising in terms of what's the best song in the game.
Yeah, I'd say Pumpkin 3 is probably one of those other songs that I would consider to be one of the best in the game, just because you only hear it once, and it's a very interesting mix of songs.
Maybe, like, chat, prepare a song for Pumpkin 3, maybe. You have like 10 minutes left. I'm gonna expect the results in chat by then.
I do actually have lyrics for Pumpkin 3, but you don't hear them very often. I don't usually sing them because when I'm in a level, it's hard to focus. But
so you just sing them privately in the morning under the shower.
I might sing them while watching somebody else enter Pumpkin 3.
Oh, you mean like in this race? Are we gonna hear it?
I don't know if I want to.
Since I won't either, I'm not gonna force anyone. Chubaloo getting one cycle. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Because he started, like, he went for the 4 and done strat, where you wait a long time until you actually start mashing, and then get all of your 4 shots in very quickly, ending the fight with a quick stomp on the head.
Very
that
good
went
kill by
really well.
Proa is going to take.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, I didn't know that he had this strat in his arsenal already. Very cool.
Yeah, very clean kill by Chubaloo. That was a really nice one cycle there. And Proa actually took that fight safely, which is also a good race strategy if you're not comfortable with going risky on that fight, because you get to preserve your power up, which will save you time in Macro 1. Especially if you keep the fire, you can get extra lag strats if you know how to pull them off.
Yeah, like as we saw in the first race tonight on FSP Ninja's side, you really want to have a fire flower at some point in this level, and you don't want to lose it. And getting out of the Tatanka fight with a fire flower already removes a lot of that uncertainty in the level. But yeah, Jubalu is tearing through the macro zone so far. Well, 2 jumps per block, that's about okay. Still gets a 3:30 in game time. That's respectable. And this is serious low 27, if not sub 27 pace on Jubalu's side. He somewhat recently joined the sub 27 club and is sitting on a 26:43 as a PB from just 10 days ago, if that is still the most recent PB.
The Jubalu has put in a lot of improvement in such a short time, and it's really, really impressive to see him climb the ranks so quickly.
Yeah, like
Proa actually making a very
43 is no joke.
He put in a lot of work. It's really impressive to see how many players have actually improved so much. Even just from the time this tournament started, just so many players have improved their PBs, and it's really awesome to see how many people are actually running this game.
Yeah, one of our tournament hosts, Dead Infinitum, tweeted earlier that, in fact, half of our participants, 12 out of 24, at least 12 out of 24 racers, have improved their times since they got seeded for the tournament.
That's some very impressive numbers there.
Yeah, so back to the race and the speedrun aspect here. We see Jubalu in this rather tight level again, with books everywhere. Top, bottom, front, everywhere books. They're not trying to educate you here, they're trying to get in your way. But Jubalu doesn't make a single mistake in this level.
Ooh, very clean exit there with a high 359.
Yep. Like he's getting optimal outcomes in many of these levels, which explains his very, very low time, his very good PB.
Proa making some nice progress through Macro 4. Getting up the kills here. He's keeping up his time here. And really performed this level very well here. Just taking it a little safe, just to make sure he doesn't take damage at the end here. Because you do not want to lose your fire. Otherwise, the rat takes a lot longer to kill.
Yeah, like I've been stunned by how well Jubalu is playing, but let's have a look at Pro A. Like his PB is over like almost 2 minutes slower, but he's technically only 1 level behind. So he's also on a very good pace for him.
Proa keeping up very nicely as he grabs the 3rd of 6 golden coin, but unfortunately on Jubalu's end, he takes damage twice.
There's that one mistake that could become really costly. He takes it safe. He doesn't want to take the death, at least. But he will still have to slow down even more in the next level, because he doesn't have that fire flower. So right now, the gap is closing.
Proa is still very much in this race. The race can shift at any time, essentially. Every zone has a potential to bring another obstacle to change the position of the players, and Proa so far has been very good at keeping the fire through Pumpkin 1, and he's going to take the stairs a little bit safely here just to avoid losing the power-up, because you do not want to lose fire in this level.
Yeah, we saw it just at the same time as Pro A was avoiding that damage, what that loss of the power-up would mean on Jubalu's side. You had to wait like everywhere in the level. Because you cannot kill most of the enemies in this level. They're already dead. So you have to wait a lot, and finally he has a power up again, so he's not in like dire peril anymore to take a death. Now he has at least one more hit point, so to speak. But that allowed that whole sequence, that whole sequence allowed Pro-A to catch up a couple of seconds.
For optimal strats entering Pumpkin 3, you ideally would be Super Mario because you would be taking damage from the tongues in the prior level. But having the Fire Flower in a race is nice because it allows you to take advantage of this Piranha Plant jump, which you see here. Chubaloo just taking a safe jump before on the stairs instead of going for the super jump. And Pro-A is going to enter with fire.
Yeah. When we're talking about saving time due to some, like, taking an additional hit, we're talking about a 1/10 of a second. So for the purpose of the race, it's very viable to skip 1 or 2 intentional hits just to be safe in terms of power-up management. Yeah, he also takes it safe on the Piranha Plant, even though he does have the Fire Flower. He would have had the option to just shoot the Piranha Plant. But whatever works, works, and he still has his power-up. Didn't have to slow down a lot. But that means that, like, just as the gap was closing a little bit, by Chubaloo now not slowing down at all in the last 2 levels, he's widening that gap just a tiny bit again. Kill counts are also looking good on both sides.
Let's see what pattern the witch gives Chubaloo, or if he decides to stay in the middle. So far, a good start with the left side.
Oh, he's doing the reaction-based jumps through the appearing witch. I also like that strat. So when the witch appears, the hitbox is not yet active, so you can wait right under her. And if you see her, you can jump through the hitbox, and as you come down, she materializes. And then you can hit her very early.
Very clean witch fight for Chubaloo with a 424 and getting the LRL, which is super nice in a race.
Yeah. Pro-A also starts out with a left. Double left. Are we gonna see the triple left? No, not today. I think we've seen 2 triple lefts in the tournament. Oh, Chubaloo misses the jump. That loses him quite a bit of time because he had to go back very slowly. It's those gaps just don't want to open up completely. He's keeping it close.
Turtle 1 can definitely give you some trouble if you're not familiar with where the platforms are or how high you have to hover. And it's not uncommon for somebody to accidentally fall into the water, like right at the start too, if you're not ready to jump. I've done that myself plenty of times.
I think everyone has. I'm definitely guilty of having, like, fallen off every platform in that level.
Chubaloo entering Turtle 2, and Turtle 2 has a lot of water, which in this game can make or break a run because of RNG, and there's 2 swim speeds you're going to get, fast and slow, and depending on which swim speed you get, you can either gain or lose a significant amount of time, especially in this level, because you enter the water so many times that getting fast swim speed, ideally, is going to bring you a decent time save over the course of the level.
We just saw Chubaloo getting slow swimming for the whole first room of the level, so that's already putting him like a second behind where he could be with fast swimming. If you pay very close attention, you can see the difference if you have a somewhat trained eye. It's very hard to tell in these very short rooms. Funnily enough, the fast and slow swimming thing does not apply for Mario swimming leftwards. Okay, let's see if he goes for the Gordo skip here. Nope. You can skip taking damage on that spiky urchin. So you would leave the level with 1 power-up more, which enables you to do a spin jump to grab the carrot in the upcoming level. But we're not seeing that strat employed here.
Turtle 3 is one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult, normal stage in this game, especially being how late in the run it is. And it is a huge run killer if you don't get it down correctly, because there's so many places you can lose damage. You saw there, very risky fall there by Chubalu, recovering nicely though, and able to hold on to that fire flower.
Yeah, we saw something very interesting in this game. If you grab a power up, you have I think like 60 frames, like 1 second of invincibility, and he was really lucky that he had that invincibility, so he did not take damage by falling through that enemy.
And Proa unfortunately takes damage at the Aqua Karibo at the beginning there, right before the midway bell, and almost gets hit by the bonefish. So he's gonna have to take this part really slow to avoid taking any more damage. Ideally, trying to get that fire flower from the last question mark block before doing so.
Yeah, the placement of those enemies is very nasty. Like they're always exactly where you would fall into the water, where you would want to avoid a different enemy. It's really, really tight, and since there are so many of them, it's also very laggy. So the longer you spend in that section, the more time you lose.
Very nice maneuver there through the water, able to dodge the bonefish. So Proa is going to be able to get the quick kill on the boss here, which will save him time from having to bonk on his head.
Oh, Proa misses a couple of shots, and we see the offspring of the zone boss, which is an orphan now. Mom or dad is dead.
Chubalu finishing nicely Mario 1 and is going into Mario 2 with small strats, which is going to be a bit risky on his part, because it's very easy to die in this section if you're not ready for the spikes coming up in the next section.
Yeah, I will assume that he's gonna play it a little bit safe and maybe take an intentional bonk here. Let's see. Yeah. So you can jump very, very close to those spikes, but he waited a couple of frames just to be sure, and then take the small brushing up against that wall.
Nice clean finish there for Chubalu as Proa makes his way through the end of Mario 1. Both kill counts are looking great. Chubalu actually can hold off on killing any more enemies, so he has a chance of killing everything in Mario 4 for optimal lag strats.
Yeah, like we might see some runners starting the last Mario Zone level with 92 instead of 91, just to like be able to maybe just miss an enemy. Like we saw Grimlock earlier, who jumped over one of the Goombas in the last level. If you have 92, you can just like keep going without slowing down. So that's something we might see in races, because the lag reduction strats really only save a couple of frames per level.
Very nice clean level there for Chubalu, going into Mario 4 with the perfect kill count as Proa makes his way through the end of Mario 2, doing a very good job of holding onto the power up and taking it safe so he doesn't get hit or lose a life. And the race is going to come down to the castle, looks like again. Both players have seen this situation before, and it's happened very often in this tournament where the castle is the decider because of how brutal of a level it is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like it looks, there is a minute of difference between the runners at the moment, but the castle has those deaths. It doesn't have a checkpoint, and wherever you die in the castle, you have to start over from the very beginning. So this is not over yet.
Chubalu taking damage in the pig fight.
We've seen. Oh, and another. This is gonna be interesting, because you don't get a lot of practice fighting the piggies without your fire flower. So sometimes you can see people get tripped up by their erratic movement.
It's gonna be close for Chubalu here.
Yeah, one more hit. Oh yeah. That's what I mean.
Oh,
Oof.
nice.
Gets it.
So normally you would never fight the pigs in that way unless you were playing Small Mario, which is another category in this game, which would force you to actually fight every boss as Small Mario, and it's very tricky to get a quick kill on them without dying. So good job on Chubalu for doing his best to play it safe and not take a death there. So he's still very much in this as he makes his way to the castle next.
I mean, not just in this, he's still in the driver's seat, but having to play that fight as Small Mario certainly slowed him down quite a bit. That lost maybe 15 to 20 seconds. So the gap could have gone down to like just one castle death instead of 2 right now.
Proa taking out that first pig very safely.
Exactly.
Chubalu second guessing his castle here just to make sure that he gets through this without dying, because any death in the castle is a costly one. Because the first place that you would most likely die is still a decent amount even in the first floor. So you do not want to take any deaths if possible.
Yeah, I don't know how you perceive this, but to me it really looks like Chubalu's nervousness goes up as the run goes. Like he had that very, very fast and good early part of the game, and then he started slowly making more and more mistakes, and they kept snowballing a bit, and now it looks like he's a bit insecure about his strats.
Yeah, it looks like the pressure definitely has been on for Chubalu in this race, and he's doing his best to keep it together here, but you know, it could come down to the castle still, even at this point. He is in the lead, but the next couple rooms could prove to be tricky. And the Wario fight is not guaranteed either.
Yeah, also don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming him or anything. It's very understandable. Like the castle is a very, very hard level, and if you just came out a zone where you thought you wouldn't make big mistakes, what would you think about the castle? Like, of course you're gonna be a little bit tense here, but he pulls through and he kind of recovered right now.
Alright, so Chubalu entering the Wario fight as Proa makes his way through the second floor propeller rooms. Getting very close here.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna do the manipulation here. Goes on 758, which guarantees a quick Wario drop.
Phase 2 of Wario is arguably the scariest phase, because if you don't get the hits in quickly and lose a power-up and have to play it small, it's very scary.
Okay, 3 more hits. And he executes the whole Wario fight perfectly. GG.
GG to Chubalu, very nice finish there. Pulls it together, coming out of a very tough pig fight, and then making his way through the castle, and finishing up with this win here. Very nice play from Chubalu, and Proa making his way into the Wario fight, not too far behind. And he's also put on a good show today as well. I'm not sure what the pattern's going to be here. Oh, looks like he got. Looks like the room manipulation did work, but he will take some damage here. So hopefully he plays it safe from the statue. Nicely done.
Yeah, that's a strat that you can employ, like kiting him towards the statue and then just standing on top of him. 1, 2, and 3, and Proa finishes up as well.
GG to Proa as well. That was a really solid race between both players here, and that finishes this matchup. We are going to call in both runners if they would like to come in for an interview.
Yeah. Yeah, that could have gone either way. if Chibaloo had just made that one mistake, but he didn't. He pulled it together. And we have Proa007 with us right now. GG on your race.
Thank you.
How do you evaluate the time that you got in the race?
Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, I didn't know that he had finished a minute ahead of me, so you know.
Oh,
Oops.
yeah, I just saw it. Yeah.
So, okay, so that aside, I mean, you know, fair enough. You know, he played right where he needed to be, and you know, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. You know, I played really well up until I think Turtle Zone 3. That's where I started to hemorrhage some time because I was actually ahead of my PB at that point.
Yeah, like we saw you doing a safe strat here and there, and some of those safe strats seem also to backfire a little bit. Where you,
Hey,
I think
yeah.
it worked out well in something like Pumpkin Zone, where you kept onto your power up in Pumpkin Zone 1, which actually let you catch up in the upcoming levels, because Chibaloo, whom we have with us right now, GG to
Hello.
you.
Thank you.
He started. Let me just jump straight in. You kind of started the run somewhat started falling apart around Pumpkin Zone. How did you see your race?
Well, I started perfect. I had a heart attack at 3-4 because you never know what's going to happen. And when I did the safe strat, I died. So this time I thought, you know what, just go for it. And it went well. Then I had perfect Tatanga and a good macro. And then Pumpkin 1, I don't know what happened, but everything went wrong. I lost 20 seconds there, but I could keep it together. And yeah, it went well. Tiny mistakes until the pig fight, and the pig fight was the best pig fight I've ever had. I think I just missed him like once or twice, right?
Yeah, like with the fireballs, yeah. And then
with
maybe some more.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that can just happen because.
Yeah, but I stayed alive. That was the most important thing. It's very scary to race against Proa because, you know, his time will be between 28 and 29 minutes. He's very constant. And so don't die. That was the main purpose. And I managed to do that. But it was close a couple times.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was basically riding my race on. Was I knew what I could do. It was more just kind of hoping that you made a rather a bad unforced error. And even then, you know, based on our times, you know, I think he still would have had me beat. But you know, you did exactly what you had to, and you know, and GG's on that.
Thank you. But if I died in Castle, you would won. It was very close.
Well, you know, that was actually, I think, the best until Wario2. I think that was the best castle I'd played all tournament. You know, I felt really good. My movement, because I practiced that a couple of times before the race, and got my jumps a little more precise than I had in past runs. So, you know, I thought I did, you know, pretty much what I had to, but so did you.
Yeah.
There was certainly. Yeah, there was certainly some back and forth. Even though Chibaloo stayed ahead the whole time, there was this like closing and opening and closing of the gap again. Like pretty much starting in Pumpkin Zone, and it's exactly how Chibaloo said. Like you were always there, Pro-A. You had those safe strats, and whenever Chibaloo got tripped up a little bit, like in that Pumpkin Zone, in that piggy fight, potentially, if there had been a mistake in the castle, you would have been right there. Like this consistency is really a strength, Pro-A.
Yeah, it's very scary to run against. You know he won't make a big mistake. So if I make a big mistake, it's over, and that's very scary.
Well, and you know, and where I'm at right now, you know, it's comfortable for me, but you know, certainly, you know, if I want to continue progressing, and I think I will, definitely learning those more advanced strats, and you know, just keep chipping away at my time, and you know, going below 28 and maybe one day below 27 as time permits. But no, I will say I did enjoy this tournament quite a bit. I enjoyed racing against everybody, and it was a very good experience. And I'm looking forward to doing comms for some of the future matches and learning more about the game, which I've been playing since it first came out in 1992. So this is kind of a nice little coming full circle for me in a strange kind of way.
It was a really solid race between the two of you. I enjoyed every second of it. It was just because it was so consistent, and you both stayed relatively close to each other the entire race, which is, I thought that was really well played, and Jubilu just kept staying ahead, and as it kept going, I had a feeling that once again this would come down to a castle, because as this game likes to play out, the castle is the determining factor in a lot of situations. Yeah,
especially in a race where on average you're clocking 27, 28 minutes, and when you have an ending that is so much harder than the rest of the game, no matter how many times you play it, it's still got a bit of whiplash to it, and you just got to be on your guard, and you got to be ready for it.
Yeah, it's two beasts you have to handle in this game. There's just the game, and then there's the castle. The castle in itself just being a gauntlet of just deadly objects to pass through, and being that you're small for almost the entirety of the castle in the most difficult sections, it really comes down to just being able to just control your nerves and remembering what you know you can do and just sticking to it, because deviating too far from what you know how to do, like I believe Deer mentioned earlier in the race that, or I think the race before, that just sticking to what you know when you go into the castle is the best way to play, because you're familiar with it, so you have a much higher chance of succeeding if you just do what you're comfortable doing.
Right. What I don't know about you, Chubalu, but for me, I think my nerves were actually pretty good the whole way through. I mean, I really didn't have those jitters like you kind of get towards the end of a race. I actually felt by and large pretty comfortable actually throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, well, my nerve start is very nervous. I also started pressing the wrong buttons at the live split, and then my nerves calmed down a little bit, and then I made a huge error in Pumpkin 1, so it started all over again. And then it went well, and then the piggy fight again, and it was back and forth, the nerves.
Well, that pig fight was definitely that had us both on. It had everyone on edge, because you lost the power-ups twice so quickly, and it turned into a small Mario pig fight, which is the scariest pig fight you can have in this game.
For sure.
And then it was me chasing the pig chasing me, and
I mean,
I won't recommend this kind of pig fight.
It takes some skill to maneuver them without hitting them so skillfully.
Well, but GG once again, Chubalu. Congrats on advancing, and good luck to you in your next match. I'm sure it'll be a really good one.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, Chubalu, your next opponent will be either Typo or Elecman. Whom do you want to face, and why?
Oh, that's a very tricky question, because. I always support Elecman because he's also my Dutch company, but I also want him to improve in the tourney. So I want him maybe to win against Typo, but if he loses against Typo, it will be the battle of the Dutchies. So that's also a very cool race.
Yeah.
So I don't mind, and also Typo is the OG, and it would be an honor to race against him. So yeah, I really don't mind. It would be a good match either way.
Yeah, I didn't want to put you on the spot, but just pointing out, we have two Dutch runners in the whole tournament, and they might be meeting up in the next round. We will see.
You gotta love those kinds of matchups.
Yeah, like we had the Japanese, not really. We had Ninja versus Samurai, neither of which is
the
Japanese
artist
today. Just find it funny how those matchups sometimes just happen to come together.
Well, there is a strange logic to the universe, and you get it sometimes with these kinds of matchups. So it just happens.
We also have 2 tournament admins in the bracket competing themselves. And guess who's gonna meet up tomorrow?
Well, yeah, I'm doing comms for that one. That's gonna be a barn burner.
I really hope so. I hope we are like that's gonna be that Infinitum versus myself at I think 2 p.m. Channel is not yet decided. One of the speed gaming channels, and like both of us have been running this game for so long, like 5-6 years, and we've been racing for a lot of that time. So it can go either way again. It's gonna be one of those matches where either there will be a lot of nervousness, or we will maybe just both get close to very, very good times. Either way is perfectly fine with me. I want to see an exciting match tomorrow.
And the match next to you is Kratos versus Ape, and it's also a very good match. So the winner of those 2 matches will be playing against each other. So those 3 matches will be really awesome.
Yeah, I'd be scared to. I'd be nervous going up against Dira or Slash, honestly, but
not Ape.
Came down to it.
Don't sleep on Ape.
Well, Abe as well. Abe is a really good player. His PB is very, very solid. So I'd be curious to see how that match plays out.
Yeah. Like let's be honest. In the winners bracket, everyone is a beast right now.
I think that largely holds true in general. It's like everybody I think can compete against anybody on a given day. You know, it's like one little thing, here or there, and all of a sudden you got yourself a grinder. This is a game where margin for error is virtually zilch.
Yep. Like especially the deeper we get into the tournament, where one of those mistakes can just make the difference.
Oh yes, absolutely. How go for broke are you going to go in some of these races, especially if you're the one with the PB disadvantage?
Yeah, we definitely get into the point where the skill gap is definitely getting tighter and tighter, and so every race gets more and more exciting. So and who knows how it's gonna play out, because even with a top matchup, someone could slip in the castle, and anybody can die in the castle. So that's probably one of the biggest excitements of the tournament in general. Is just you never know like when or where someone's going to lose a life or lose a power up. So it's always exciting to see what happens next.
Definitely agree. Like you can see like a sub 27 versus sub 27. You can also see a 30-minute race by 2 people who have times PBs that are 4 minutes faster. It's just the nature of this game, especially in races.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, guys, and GG once again, Chubaloo. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It was a very cool race.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
And thank you, Dear, for commentating 3 matches in a row.
Don't mention it.
I'm very happy for Kratos helping Dear in the last match.
Definitely. Big thanks to Kratos jumping in, lending me some company and some very good commentary.
Yeah, I figured you needed maybe a slight break. Not too much. I know he's still super excited about commentating still, but I thought it'd be fun to jump in last minute and provide some extra commentary. And also, good luck to you on your next race, Chubaloo. It's gonna be an exciting one as well. I think from here on out, every race is gonna be exciting, as all of them have been up at this point. So, GG again on that.
Thank you, and you too.
Yeah, good luck for the rest of the tournament, Chubaloo.
Thank you, and you guys too.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
And yeah, with that, I guess we are ready to sign off again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. That Infinitum versus Oh Dear, that is me. We will see on what channel that will take place. On commentary will be Proa007, whom we just seen and heard. And the race after that will be Typo versus Elecman on December 1st. that's the one that is scheduled already. So, thanks everyone for watching today, for coming out today. Thanks Kratos again for being here with me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
See you all around.
Take care, everyone.